Heidi ho! Thanks for tuning in today. Today I would like to teach you how to find the dimensions of a right circular cylinder if you know that the radius is going to be 1/3 meter greater than the height of it, and that the total volume is going to be 98 over 9 pi cubic meters. Okay. Right. So, let's just draw your circular cylinder and just label the height and the radius for now. All right. And it says that the radius is going to be 1/3 meter greater. Oh my goodness. 1/3 meter greater than the height, right? So what does that exactly mean? Well, 1/3 meter greater. Okay. It doesn't say 1/3 of the height. It says 1/3 meter greater than the height. So what that means is that if you know the height, pretend the height were 1 meter, well then the radius should be 1 1/3 meter, right? Because it's a third greater. In other words, if you know the height, you're just going to add 1/3 to it. Okay, that's all it is. That's what the radius should equal, because the radius is 1/3 meter greater than the height, right? So if you know the height, add 1/3 to it, and that'll tell you what the radius is. So what I want to do now is, instead of having this R and this H, I want to take this and substitute it in for the R. The reason being is because now I have both unknowns labeled with the same unknown, right? The same unknown being H, okay? And now let's see how the math is going to work. So somehow I know this, thing about the radius. I know this thing about the height and telling me the volume. How in the world are all these connected? Well, they're connected via a formula that the volume of a right circular cylinder is going to be equal to pi times the radius squared times height. So the volume, they told us, is going to be 98 pi. That's a little weird, over 9 pi. I have a feeling this was a typo, but we shall see. R squared times H. Yeah, we'll see. So this is going to be the formula. I'm getting distracted, but now instead of writing the height and the radius, I'm now going to start substituting, right? So the radius was the height plus 1/3. Height plus 1/3 squared times then the height was just an H. So now, these two pi's will cancel. Okay, that's lovely. And what's then going to happen is this is going to be now 98 over 9 pi is equal to then H plus 1/3 squared times then the height. Now, to do this problem without a calculator is going to be absolutely ridiculous. All right, so I'm not even going to entertain or pretend that somebody's going to do this without a calculator at this point. And if you are, good luck. But, well, I'll tell you, you'd probably want to use the rational zero theorem possibly. But I actually don't know if that'll technically work since we have a pi in here. But I don't know if that's a typo. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to use a calculator. So what you're going to do, you want to take this equation, set it equal to 0. You're going to subtract this value on over to the left. What? Hold on. Yeah, that's my right. That's my right. Okay. So this is going to be a 0. Then this is going to be H plus 1/3 squared times the height. What's going on with the H? Good. Minus then 98 over 9 pi. Okay. So once this is set equal to 0, just take this and plug it into your calculator. So open the parentheses. You can do x plus then 1/3. Close parentheses, square it. Then multiply it by x, right? Because x is h. That doesn't make a difference. Then minus now. Careful with the parentheses here. Do open parentheses, then type 98, then divide it by now. You need a parenthesis for the bottom. So open the parentheses, then do 9 pi. Close them up both. Then what you're going to do, hit graph. So here's the function, all right? If you want, just zoom in on it, just like I'm doing. This is 1, and then that's 2. So you can see the function crosses the x-axis here between 1 and 2. Now I want to find the exact value, so go to calculate, and then 0, okay? You're going to move the cursor now to the left of the point. You know there's going to be 1 point something, so just leave it at 0.4. That's good enough. And then you're going to move to the right of the point. So just move it to the right somewhere. That's good enough. And then make a guess. Just get it close and hit enter. And there's the value now. Okay, that's going to be the value. All right. So the H value, or the height, is going to be equal to 1.2997005. This might be it might be easier to do it in terms of pi. I'm not really sure if I can get it. But let me see if I can. Let's do clear. Let's go to second answer now. And let me just plug it in. Yeah, there's the answer from before. So let's divide this by pi. Let me just see if I get a nice 0.413. I'm not really sure. Let me see if I can convert that into a fraction. Let's go fraction, answer to fraction. Nah, doesn't really do it. It might be in terms of a radical. I'm not really sure. But I can't really get this in terms of pi, at least easily. So this is going to be the height, okay? And if you know the height, as we saw before, you're just going to add 1/3 to it. All right, so simply take that value and then add 1/3 to it. Hit enter. And now that's the value of the radius. So the radius here is going to be 1.66, 1.633, you know, ba, 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 ba. So now what we can do is we can check this. So the volume is going to equal pi times the radius squared times then the height. So we said that the radius is going to be 1.6, try to make that a little neater, 1.633 squared. And then just multiply that by the height of 1.299, blah, 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 blah. And let's see what we get. So go calculator, you can clear it out, go to second pi, times then 1.633 squared, times then 1.299. It comes up with a value about 10.88, right? So let's see if this, remember the volume they told us was 98 over 9 pi. So let's just see if that works out, okay? So we're going to do 98 pi. So it's 98 divided by now, parenthesis, 9 pi. And then you can multiply that by pi. So it's just, you know, 98 over 9, but you can see how it's basically the same thing. So I know we're right. This is the radius, and this is the height. Those are both in terms of meters. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I really do hope this helps. Please remember to like and subscribe. Maybe even tell some of your classmates. It helps us out tremendously. Check out our channel because we have thousands of videos up there. I'd love to help you with more. Gotta run. Take care.